Hey, what's up guys? Bajheera here. First things first, big congratulations to Cellucor for winning a Cellucor sample pack. Thank you so much for your support, man. I'll be getting in touch with you soon so we can get you all hooked up. And speaking of getting all hooked up, I want to hook you guys up with another Cellucor sample pack giveaway of your choice. So, be sure to like the video if you enjoyed it, subscribe if you'd like to see more, and leave me a comment for your chance to win a Cellucor sample pack of your choosing. Alright guys, so for this video, I'd like to share some highlights from this week's workouts. Gonna be going through some of the exercises I used to train my back this week. Then we're gonna transition into some of my chest workout from earlier today. Then we're gonna finish up with a progress update of my current physique. So I've been doing some dieting for a couple months, and then for the past couple weeks, I've been sort of reverse dieting, getting back into more of a bulk, sitting at about an even 200 pounds. And we'll have a look at where I'm at. But anyway, for right now, I'm really working into these rows. Rows have been a big focus of mine because I feel like I pretty much do pull-ups just about every day. I'll do pull-ups on my chest day. I'll fit those pull-ups in between pretty much every set of benching that I do. Even on my arms and shoulders day, I feel like I get a lot of I can get, depending on how you focus on the exercise, get a big bicep pump and even some rear delt activation out of pull-ups. So I'll use those on my shoulder day as well. Don't really do a lot of pull-ups on leg day. Just pretty much devote all my energy to training legs, but in pretty much every upper body day, I am doing some pull-ups. But I do want to make sure I really give a solid effort to my rowing and my deadlifting. And the reason I'm focusing on those two exercises is because, for me, I feel like those exercises help me build some thickness in my muscles. So the deadlifts obviously will be good for my legs because I am driving so much with my legs during the deadlift, but also holding that weight, keeping it steady, keeping it in a good position is gonna definitely tax my upper back into my neck. So we're gonna build a lot of mass along, my shoulders, my upper back, and my traps. And then, of course, with the rowing, the way I'm using that rowing motion is I'm really pulling with my lower lats there. But I am definitely focusing on contracting my shoulder blades, really trying to pull with my elbows, as I sometimes like to think about it. Almost pulling my elbow into my hip, so I get that nice downward motion and a real strong contraction in my lower lat. And that's a piece of advice I feel like I can offer in most of your back exercises, is focusing on pulling with your elbow. All your hand is doing is holding onto the weight. And then I can focus on really trying to drive my elbows down and back, getting a nice contraction in that big, wide, lower part of your lat. So now we're gonna transition over to some of my chest workout. My chest days have been pretty consistent. I feel like I'm starting to get stronger on the bench, and the bench is something that I used to do so much of. I would pretty much bench every single day. And although that might not be the absolute best idea for your overall training model, that did get me a really strong bench press, and I enjoyed that. But as I've gotten a little bit older and as I've gotten further along in my fitness journey, I've tried to have a more structured sequence of workouts where I'll do chest one day, back the other day, arms and shoulders the next day, legs the next day, and then repeat. I have not been just doing bench press every day. And as a result, in combination with the fact that I was dieting, I feel like I've lost a lot of strength on my bench press. And now keep in mind that with my personal set of goals, strength isn't the end-all be-all of my training. The end-all be-all of my training, essentially, is to have a physical and mental wellness that I feel accurately represents who I want to be. And to put more simply, I enjoy building muscle, I enjoy working out, it makes me a happier, healthier person, and in a lot of ways helps me become the person I want to be and the person I am proud to be. But regardless of all that, I would be proud to be the person who can bench press 315 on flat bench consistently again. So raw strength isn't the primary goal, but it is something I look forward to achieving as I continue my training process. And honestly, I already am seeing strength increases. I've been working hard, and I've been eating a lot more. So right now, my diet is looking like anywhere from 3,700 a day to maybe 4,200 a day. 4,200 definitely on the higher end of things. 3,700 feels pretty comfortable. I don't feel too, bloated at the end of the day or anything. I'm not feeling like I'm eating way too much. I'm not always full, which that might be what's required for some people to gain weight. But for me right now, that's not what I'm looking for. I'm going to be going for a cleaner bulk, which I think that as long as I'm in a surplus, my genetics, the way my body works, I will be able to build muscle, but hopefully not put on too much fat. It doesn't take a whole lot of surplus for me to put on fat either, I don't think. So gotta find a way to have that balance, and I think somewhere between 3,700 and 4,200 will be about where that balance is. But, you know, throughout these next couple weeks, we're gonna figure that out, and keep in mind that through the bulking process, probably gonna gain some body fat, and I'm prepared for that. Just don't want to get too chunky. But speaking of chunky, let's see how we're looking here. So, like I said earlier, this is exactly 200 pounds. And I thought I would be weighing more at this point just because of how much I've been eating, but dieted down to about 195, and now I've really only gained 5 pounds back, but doesn't seem to be too much fat. But then again, of course, it's not too much muscle either, so I am sure it's a little bit of both, but that doesn't really bother me very much. But anyway, I, at first glance, am noticing a pretty substantial increase in muscle mass along my upper chest and shoulders and traps, which is exactly what I've been going for. I've been really working hard to build up my shoulders and build up my traps, so that's very encouraging to me right off the bat. And my chest looks a lot better than I thought it would, probably because I was doing chest today, so I just have a good chest pump. But even my traps, which are a chronic weak point for me, do seem to be a little bit better than before. I do have some sort of weird imbalance between my right and left shoulder, trap, all that. And it doesn't have anything to do with training. I'm pretty sure it's just my body is weird. But that doesn't mean that I can't train to compensate for that. But anyway, we'll have to figure that out later. But whereas my my body, my chest, my shoulders, my upper back, my lower back too, whereas all that has grown, I feel like my arms are starting to look a little bit small compared to everything else. Especially my triceps. I mean, I haven't really measured my arms, so I don't know exactly what the measurements are, but to me personally, the measurements aren't exactly as important as how they looks proportionally. And to me personally, I feel like my arms are beginning to look proportionally small to my chest and my back. So I don't know what I'm gonna have to do about that. Obviously, train arms more, right? But I think that as we just keep hammering away, things will start to even out a little bit more. But I mean, my side chest, even though when I do side chest, I'm looking more at my shoulder, honestly. So, I mean, the chest is like cool and all, but for me, like seeing my shoulders come in is a really, really proud moment for me, because I've been training shoulders crazy hard because my shoulders have always, much like my traps, been a weak point for me. So I've been hammering away at them. I've been doing tons of, you know, presses and flies, just drilling my shoulders with reps. And slowly but surely, I'm starting to see some shoulder growth, which is really cool. Right now, I'm not really all that lean, which is fine. I mean, I'm not like chunky, but definitely could have some body fat to lose if that was my goal, but that is not my goal right now. My goal right now is to eat and gain some muscle while trying to not gain too much body fat. But like I said, during a bulking process, especially with me, especially with my genetics, and especially the way I want to eat, I will probably end up putting on a little bit of body fat, but that is something that I am comfortable with at this point, so that's fine. But hey, look at my back. Back's looking pretty good. And you can see even the shoulders, they're starting to get a little bit more like a ball look to them, you know? I mean, don't have no bow to shoulders just yet, but maybe at some point in the very distant future, that could be a possibility for us. But like I said, I've been hammering away at pull-ups too, just because I think pull-ups are one of those exercises that I can do just about every day, recover just fine, and hopefully that will contribute to my back growth. One thing that I will say is that I had not been doing enough deadlifts. There was a couple weeks there when I was dieting that I really didn't get into the deadlifts very much, and that's something that I definitely need to remedy during this bulking phase, because for me personally, what I've found that helps me grow the most is food, squats, and deadlifts. Obviously, that doesn't take into account your arms, your chest, shoulders, anything like that. So obviously, you have to continue to train every muscle group. But what I'm saying is, I mentally activate my greatest intensity when I'm doing squats and when I'm doing deadlifts. Now, I know that you should be channeling your greatest intensity with every lift, every time, every day, but I do tend to give special attention to the squats and the deadlifts, and I think that has helped me out a lot during the times where I put on the most muscle. Now, right now we're taking a look at my legs, and honestly, I don't think you can really see a whole lot of definition, because my legs are hairy, and this isn't the best lighting, but I ain't even mad. I'm pretty happy with how my legs are doing. I feel like if I shaved my legs, they would look a lot like they did when I was at my leanest. I mean, obviously now there's not veins just everywhere like there was back then, but you can see some definition, and I'm happy with that. I think that what I've been doing for my legs has been working out pretty well. I've been using the squats as where I'm trying to pack on some heavier weight, working on getting my squat lifts up, and then I've been using the leg press to do those sets of 8 to 12 reps. And of course I'm doing those along with the isolation exercises for my legs. So all in all, I'm pretty happy with where I am right now. Just gotta keep putting in the work, keep eating that food, and hopefully we'll continue to be making progress. But anyways, guys, remember, like if you enjoyed the video, subscribe if you'd like to see more, and leave a comment for a chance to win that Cellucor sample pack. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace!